Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Believe in Karma Makes You Let Go Very Easily. I actually do believe in this. And there's also another thing that's in what Abrahamic religion probably. I know pretty much in Western religion is that the people who believe that God will punish those who've done people wrong will also let go relatively easily. Maybe not as easily as karma, but relatively easily because I gotta say, they believe that, if you Western people will probably believe that because God will take care of them and take care of those who have wronged them. And plus, there are people out there who believe in turn the other cheek. There's a phrase that says that if someone does you wrong, turn the other cheek. So you just basically just kind of like don't deal with them anymore, or you don't get back at them for it. God will take care of it. Kind of similar to karma, but I think karma is a little bit different, considering the fact that you can also develop bad karma by acting upon, reacting to people badly for them doing bad things to you. So let's go give this video a shot.
Dharma is protection from fear.
From fear.
The real Dharma. We take refuge not in the Sangha, we don't take refuge in the Buddha. Those are a given. Definitely we believe we take refuge, but the real refuge, the real focus. No, wrong, I take it back. Don't take refuge in Buddha and Sangha is wrong. You take refuge in them, but the ultimate focus of refuge, and the point is in the Dharma. Just like when you're sick, the ultimate place you go for healing is the medicine. The doctor is very important, so are the nurses, but it is the medicine. The doctor can tell you how to get rid of a headache, explain where the headache comes from. You can go on and on, you have a headache. But if you take the medicine, then he explains easier. Like that, I give you the Dharma. All this, we didn't talk about gods, we didn't talk about rituals, we didn't talk about protectors, we didn't talk about idams and dakas and dakinis, we didn't talk about tsongkhapa, we didn't talk about anything, we talked about human feelings, human relationship, and how the Dharma applies. And that's what it's all about. The Buddhas do exist, the idams do exist. The gods, the deities, the dakas and dakinis, the arhats, the Shravakas and Pratyekaya Buddhas and the Dharma protectors all exist, and they can benefit us. But we need to know fundamental Dharma. That is the basis of everything else. And when I make a relationship with someone, when I give refuge to someone, I think about it carefully. I cannot be forced into refuge. I've said no to some people. Many people actually didn't want refuge. They get offended, they get upset. Well, this shows you what kind of mind they have. When they get offended, they get upset, they go away. It's better they don't take refuge because they'll do that anyway in the future. It'll be bad for them, bad for me. I don't give refuge easily. But when I give, I make prayers that may benefit them tremendously. Tremendously. Not only in this life. So, those who take refuge, you should do the same. Love the people around you. How do you love? In good speech, in kind words, consistently daily, in telling the truth, in facing your negative points, in not running away from yourself and the people that love you and good things that you have. How do you take refuge every day? By forgiving yourself that you failed, forgiving the people around you that failed you, and forgiving the people that you have expectancy from that did not do what they were supposed to do. Forgive them. Because if you forgive, you know what happens? Your mind will become light. You'll see anger go away. Very fast. Forgive. Let go. If you forgive and let go, anger goes away. You know what happens? Everything becomes beautiful.
I'll say that's very hard though for a lot of people, especially depending on how much wrong they've done to you. Imagine someone completely ruining your life and now you're broke and everyone that you love has left you because of a lie that someone has said. But I guess you could say like, well, what kind of people are those to believe in them and not in you? and maybe it's for good. But along the lines of the, they've stolen everything that's yours. I mean, how can you forgive that? It's very difficult. Something that you can't exactly do in a matter of, a few minutes or even a few days or months. That's a very, very harsh wrong, and it takes you a long time. It took you a long time to get to where you were, all of a sudden destroyed in a couple of days or months, and then just to try to get back, maybe you hope, get back to where you were, to live life the way it was. Can someone so easily forgive that quickly? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure someone will say there may be people who does, but I mean, I'm not exactly sure. They have to be one super enlightened being for them to just be able to forgive someone who have wronged them so bad. Over time, a time heals all wounds, as they say, but geez, I don't know. Little things, yeah, I can see that. To forgive and to forget. Maybe even to forgive and never necessarily forget. Meaning that you will not allow that to happen again, and they may not be your friends anymore, or whatever their relationship to you was, or may still be is.
The same room, the same people, just like that becomes beautiful very fast. Why? Because our anger. Forgive. How do you forgive? How? Just to say forgive, not enough. You have to believe in the Dharma, because you took refuge. That everything comes because of your own karma. So if it comes because of your own karma, how can you blame someone else and be angry with them? You must accept it. So if you accept that's your karma, you cannot have anger. If you don't have anger, you don't get revenge, you don't run. You know what that comes from? Not with us, protectors, yidams, and mantras. That comes from taking refuge and knowing refuge. The very first step of wisdom.
I can agree to something like that a little bit. It's hard to. I will say it's very hard, of course, to accept the fact that you deserve this punishment. Although I kind of like the way Swami Taratmananda, and there's someone else who explains karma, even bad karma, should I say, more specifically that. Where it's not necessarily that you have to accept the punishment, you can find alternative ways of succeeding. Maybe it's saying it in a different way, but it does sound a lot better. For example, I guess you not getting that promotion, and maybe that's a kind of a hiccup on your road, maybe that's the bad karma that you accumulated, but maybe working a little bit harder and just delaying that promotion. Or maybe because of that, you not getting that promotion, maybe you go seek a job there, somewhere else where you get paid what you were asking for, or whatever it may be. Instead of just saying, take it on the chin, you deserve it, kind of deal. It sounds really bad when it's spoken that way. It's like, yeah, you deserve it, take it, and just forgive the person. It's like, yeah, that's kind of hard. It's a bit unrealistic to a lot of people. I'd say maybe forgive, don't forget, probably, and move on with life. Don't quell or what's the right word? Don't simmer on that anger or resentment for so long, because it will ruin your life. That is where bad karma comes from. Understand that it has happened to you. Let it go, and I guess protect yourself in such a way that that won't happen again. That might be a good way to say it.
We can forgive if we accept it's our karma. If we accept it's our karma and take responsibility, we not only forgive, we push to the next level. Those of us who don't believe in karma, you can see the results. And some of us think karma really exists or not. At this point, never mind. I'll tell you why. Whether it exists or not, if you believe in it and live your life that way, it's still very beneficial. Why? Karma makes you take responsibility. Very simple. It makes you take one. So.
Oh, I thought I heard someone laughing in there. Hold on. I guess someone coughing.
Responsibility. Very simple. It makes you take one. So in the end, if karma is real, you gain. In the end, if karma is not real, and there's just death, you still gain, because in your life you took responsibility. For the 50, 60, 70 years of your life that you're alive, you take responsibility because you believed in karma. We have to believe in something. No one can run around empty. We have to believe in something, true or false. If we believe in something that makes sense, it works.
Well, believing in something, it's really, again, this goes a bit of contradiction in terms of, like, you don't want to believe in anything. You want to seek the truth. And don't get me wrong, I say I believe in stuff as well, but they're based on experiences. So I think with that in mind, I can say it's okay to believe in something so long as that belief is based on some type of experience. It may not be 100% true, but there is some experience behind it. As in, you don't say that, oh yeah, I believe in this, therefore it must be true and you must believe it. I could say, I believe in this and I think it to be true, but I'm not too sure. As in, you're still open to it being wrong or to it being true. It's just that the fact that you have experience in it, and again, having experience in it doesn't make it 100% true right away. I mean, for me, it takes a lot more of experience in the subject matter, and whatever that subject matter is, for me to believe it a lot strongly. And I will never ever, well, I won't say never ever, but I don't think I will ever say anything is absolutely true. I will believe in a lot of things. I'll believe things to be 99.9% true. But there's always that 0.1% that I'm open to hearing, to not believe in what I believe in if it makes sense enough to destroy what I've believed in for so long. But yes, if you believe in karma and you've experienced it happen, then I say you can believe in it because you've experienced it. But I don't know, do I believe in karma? To some degree. There's people out there who, in the terms of the karma that I believe, is more along the lines that if you do something bad, like in high school, you do something bad to someone, 20 years down the road, you're looking for a job, you apply for this job and you realize the person that you're bad to is now you're trying to hire, and probably won't hire you because he remembers that time that you were bad to them, and that's karma coming back at you. When you're mean to someone, bullying someone, punching someone, or whatever it may be, and then later on down the road you run into that same person and you need help and they don't help you, that's karma. And I do believe in that. Karma in this life. Karma in the past life, I don't believe in reincarnation because I have no experience in that. So it's a little bit more difficult to believe in that. So again, in karma in that context, I do believe in. Now that doesn't mean that everyone always gets their punishment, but I in a sense, I don't care if they do or do not. They did something wrong. I have to live my life. If they wrong me, I will just not deal with them, and that's how I deal with that issue. If it's really bad, I won't let it eat up my life. I'll let it go, let them go, and never mess with them ever again. So I can continue to live my life in contentment. And that's my closure to that. Whether they karma or not, it's irrelevant to me. If I'm sitting here worrying, it's like, oh, they better get their karma, they better get their karma, or they better get punished for that, then it's eating up my life. I'm so worried about that I'm not worrying about my own contentment or whatever is going on in my life at the moment.
It works. So therefore, karma is real now. Right now, don't think about it. If you want to think well, the Buddha's right on everything else, how can you be wrong on this? Okay, it's very simple analysis. Then if you believe in karma, then during difficult times when you're angry or disappointed, or you fail, or you didn't do something right, you will let go very easily. I promise you. That's my personal experience with myself. You will let go very easily. But if you don't believe in karma, very fundamental basis of Buddhism, the very first step, refuge, then your anger will become bigger and more and more and more and more. Why? It's not the people that make you angry. It's yourself not taking responsibility. Responsibility of actions for yourself and the people around you. So the more angry you are, for normal people, they say, yes, it's that person's fault, it's this fault, it's that fault, it's the country's fault, it's the government's fault, it's It's the medical care's fault. It's the person that's driving's fault. It's your mother's fault. It's your father's fault, or whatever. It's everybody's fault. All of us will believe that. But people with wisdom, which you will hide from, will know, no, it's your fault. And when they tell you, when you're around normal people, you say things to cover. Why? Most people don't know the truth. So you know they don't know the truth, so you want face to cover. But the people who know, you hide from, you run away from. You don't want to see. You don't want to see yourself. Why? You know the truth. Taking refuge in Dharma, and the fundamental of Dharma is karma, has an incredible difference in your life. Instantly.
And I agree with that, actually, about the fact of responsibility. I was kind of wondering about that a little bit earlier when he first said it, but along the lines of the fact that, like I always said, I was with friends with this person. I let him in my life, and we did business together or working on a project. Then he screws me over. I have to take responsibility for that. The fact that I trusted that person to do business with or to start a project with, and now they've taken advantage of me and made out with whatever. I have to take responsibility for that, meaning that, and it goes back to what I originally said, that now I'll make sure that anytime I deal with someone that I look out for these things, and so that it doesn't happen to me again. And also to never trust that person again. It's my responsibility not to trust that person again, and either to not deal with that person or only deal with that person in a very limited manner, to where that whatever they did to me will not happen again, or I'll never put myself in a compromising position with that person or with anyone in general. So that is where the responsibility comes from. It's up to you to make sure that the things that you see that hurts you or harms you never happens to you, by taking action and whatever necessary action it takes to prevent that from happening again. Let me know if you agree or disagree with anything I say in this. I'm curious.
The Buddha's incredible psychologist, incredible enlightened being. Incredible. You take responsibility. So people who take refuge in the Dharma, your anger becomes less, not because you did 3,000 hours in meditation, not because you had many lifetimes of being a highly enlightened being. You become less angry and therefore cover less, ego becomes less, self-cherishing becomes less, honesty becomes more. Why? Because you believe in karma and you take responsibility. Very simple. People say, oh, I need to do more meditation, I need to study more so I can lessen my anger. No! There's instant result if you take responsibility, if you believe in karma from your heart. Even suffering becomes easy when you take responsibility, believe in your karma. Yes.
I'll say it's a very weird way to put it. Hopefully, I'm curious as to whether my phrasing of how I see this is better for some people or not, or is it worse? I try to think of it in terms of generalities that hopefully more people can understand who don't necessarily follow maybe certain ways of life, certain way of life, and yeah, I also had something else to say and I can't remember. Well, that's not practical in my mind, but anyways. So yes, karma. It's very interesting to talk Dharma along with karma. But I believe, again, someone actually said in the comments when I was asking about Tsem's, and he talks Dharma a lot. Dharma it's a bit of a different terminology in terms of his particular meaning of Dharma. Can't remember what it was. I think it's more along the lines of your path, perhaps. It's not necessarily your what you call it, your duty. I believe it's something else. It's a type of path that you should follow, as opposed to your duty to be a father, a soldier, or whatever it may be. Anyway, since I forgot what I was going to say, that's the end of this video. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.